The cardiovascular system, also known as the circulatory system, is essential for transporting blood, nutrients, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hormones, and other substances throughout the body. It consists of the heart, blood vessels, arteries, veins, and capillaries. And blood. Here's a detailed overview of the anatomy of the cardiovascular system. 1. The heart. The heart is located in the thoracic cavity between the lungs, slightly to the left of the midline, and protected by the rib cage. The heart has 4 chambers, 2 atria, which are the upper chambers, and 2 ventricles, which are the lower chambers. The right atrium receives deoxygenated blood from the body via the superior and inferior vena cava. The right ventricle pumps deoxygenated blood to the lungs via the pulmonary artery for oxygenation. The left atrium receives oxygenated blood from the lungs via the pulmonary veins. The left ventricle pumps oxygenated blood to the body via the aorta. The heart has several valves. The tricuspid valve, located between the right atrium and right ventricle. The pulmonary valve, between the right ventricle and pulmonary artery. The mitral valve, also known as the bicuspid valve, between the left atrium and left ventricle. And the aortic valve, between the left ventricle and aorta. The myocardium is the muscular wall of the heart, responsible for contracting and pumping blood. The pericardium is a double-walled sac that encases the heart, providing protection and reducing friction as the heart beats. The heart's electrical conduction system controls the heart rate and rhythm, including the sinoatrial node, also known as the SA node or the natural pacemaker, the atrioventricular node, the bundle of His, and the Purkinje fibers. 2. Blood vessels. Arteries carry oxygenated blood away from the heart to the tissues, except for the pulmonary arteries, which carry deoxygenated blood to the lungs. The aorta is the largest artery in the body, originating from the left ventricle and branching into smaller arteries that supply blood to all parts of the body. The coronary arteries supply blood to the heart muscle itself. Pulmonary arteries carry deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs. Veins return deoxygenated blood to the heart, except for the pulmonary veins, which carry oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left atrium. The superior and inferior vena cava are the large veins that bring deoxygenated blood from the body back to the right atrium. Pulmonary veins carry oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left atrium. Capillaries are the smallest blood vessels connecting arteries to veins. They facilitate the exchange of oxygen, carbon dioxide, nutrients, and waste products between blood and tissues. 3. Blood. Blood has several components. Red blood cells, or RBCs, carry oxygen from the lungs to the body's tissues and return carbon dioxide from the tissues to the lungs. White blood cells, or WBCs, are part of the immune system and fight infection. Platelets help with blood clotting to prevent bleeding. Plasma is the liquid component of blood containing water, electrolytes, proteins, hormones, and waste products. All right, let's dive into the circulatory routes. First up, we have systemic circulation. This is the pathway by which oxygenated blood is pumped from the left ventricle through the aorta to the rest of the body. And then, deoxygenated blood returns to the right atrium via the vena cava. Next, we have pulmonary circulation. This is the pathway by which deoxygenated blood is pumped from the right ventricle through the pulmonary artery to the lungs. Here it becomes oxygenated and then returns to the left atrium via the pulmonary veins. And finally, we have coronary circulation. This refers to the blood supply to the heart muscle itself via the coronary arteries. All right, let's dive into the functions of the cardiovascular system. Firstly, transportation. It delivers oxygen and nutrients to tissues, removes carbon dioxide and waste products, transports hormones, and distributes heat. Moving on to regulation, it helps maintain homeostasis by regulating body temperature, pH, and fluid balance. And lastly, protection. It circulates white blood cells and antibodies to fight infections and provides mechanisms for clotting to prevent blood loss. Now, let's explore some key concepts. Blood pressure. This is the force exerted by circulating blood on the walls of blood vessels, usually measured in the arteries. Then we have the cardiac cycle, the sequence of events in one complete heartbeat, including systole, which is contraction, and diastole, which is relaxation. Lastly, heart rate. This is the number of heartbeats per minute, typically 60 to 100 beats per minute in a healthy adult at rest. Moving on to diseases and conditions. Hypertension. This is high blood pressure, a risk factor for heart disease and stroke. Atherosclerosis. This is the buildup of plaque in the arteries, leading to reduced blood flow, heart attack, or myocardial infarction. This occurs when blood flow to a part of the heart is blocked, damaging the heart muscle. And heart failure. This is when the heart cannot pump blood effectively, leading to fluid buildup in the lungs and other tissues. Understanding the cardiovascular system is crucial for maintaining cardiovascular health and preventing related diseases. Regular exercise, a healthy diet, and monitoring risk factors like blood pressure and cholesterol are essential for supporting this vital system.